The eCom Seller Summit was created to prove that with the right tools and training, anyone and everyone can make money in e-commerce. So many people want to try their hand at e-commerce, selling on eBay, Amazon, Shopify, and more, but they're afraid they won't be successful. This summit will show you that there's many ways to do e-commerce, and there are many platforms you can explore, because e-commerce really has no limits. It really can pay your bills, and e-commerce never sleeps. There's nothing like waking up to profits from getting sales all night long. My name is Nicole Whitlock, and this is the eCom Seller Summit. Hello, this is Nicole Whitlock with the eCom Seller Summit, and today's key feature speaker is the amazing ladies from List Perfectly. How are you ladies doing?
Hi, Nicole. Hi.
We are so glad that you're here. So we have Miss Amanda, Miss Clara, and Miss Alex, and they have created an amazing software that resellers around the world are so grateful that has been developed, because it's simplifying people's lives and it's making things better again for us resellers who are trying to cross-list products. So we're going to get into a couple of questions that we have for these ladies. What I wanted to start off with is, can you all tell me, are you all like originally e-commerce sellers?
Yes, indeed. All of us.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome. So can you tell me can each one of you tell me a little bit about your e-commerce journey? What platforms were you selling on? And tell us a little bit about your e-commerce journey.
Yeah, so I'm Amanda, and it's such a pleasure to be here with you, and thank you so much. I actually got started all the way back in 2003. I was working a corporate job, and I had a dream of starting my own business. So I actually that business didn't work out. So I had to sell the equipment, and I sold it all online for more money than I invested in the equipment. And that just changed my world. I was like, this is amazing. Reselling is something I really need to look more into. So I started in 2003. And then, of course, Clara came along after a bit of time, after I got more experience. Yep. And
so what platform were you selling on, Amanda? I wanted to ask that quick question. What platform were you selling that equipment?
I was an eBay seller. Like most other people at that time, definitely got started on eBay. eBay was the game changer for me at that time.
Okay, awesome. And then I'm sorry, Clara, go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, I just wanted to add that she was, as an eBay seller, I came 12 years ago, and I did data entry for her. That's how I got started.
Yeah.
Oh wow, data entry. Okay. So the two of you partnered together. So she had some equipment, you jumped into the fray and started listing for her, and the two of you were just crushing it on eBay as a partnership.
Yeah, it's incredible. Once we got together, and the sales just, I mean, I got a certain length by myself, but having a business partner took us to the next level, and it allowed us to start thinking about multi-channel sales. So we started thinking about our own website. We started thinking about, let's investigate other marketplaces. And so we, early on, before there were a lot of solutions out there, we built our own website. We had to customize our own software to be able to manage our products across so many different marketplaces. And so that was back we started that journey around 2011 with our first website. And then in around 2014, 2015, we built our own software. And it went so good. It took off like a rocket, our business, our personal business, that we just knew we had to bring this to other people.
Oh, that is so awesome. So I do have to say, so as an eBay seller, like, did you reach any certain plateaus? Because, eBay has all of these statuses. And so did you reach any plateau? Was there a specific niche that you focused on? Was there a specific category that you specialized in as a seller?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, we started with men's clothing, but when I came on board, okay, we transitioned into the clothing vault, and we started to do any clothing that could be resold. So we actually didn't have a niche. Our niche was just reselling and reducing landfills, and that was important to us.
Okay. All right. Well, I understand. I started off as an eBay seller as well, so I get it. And I started off selling a little bit of everything, and clothing and shoes were plus size clothing and shoes was my thing initially because it was an underserved market.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
that is an underserved market. So Miss Alex, can you tell us about your e-commerce journey?
Absolutely. So I kind of have a long e-commerce journey, but I'm going to try to make a long story short because I know we have so many amazing tips and things to dive into here. But I started selling stuff out of a passion for sustainability because I just couldn't put it in a landfill and I couldn't take it to Goodwill, which is where most of us drop off. I love Goodwill. I support Goodwill, but 80% of the items that are taken there end up in a landfill because they just don't have the capacity to sell it all. And that's their own stat. It's not something, that I'm pulling here. It's something that they actually do share, and they're so great and transparent. But I couldn't, sit with that. So I thought I got to find a home for these things. I got to find a home for my clothing. And so I started weirdly on Craigslist back in the day, probably 10 years ago. And I quickly had some bad experiences, as many people that sell frequently on Craigslist do, of course, right? And I went over to Poshmark, which I had never heard of. People were like, oh my God, why Craigslist? Go on Poshmark. And so I did, and I love Poshmark, but as a full-time student, I just thought, wow, this is really time consuming, and I really need to invest a lot in the sharing, the following, the parties, culture of Poshmark in order to do well. And so I started thinking about diversifying and even creating my own marketplace, which I ultimately did. I was the founder of a marketplace called Relove. And when I ended up selling Relove, I had quite a bit of inventory to sell myself that was left over from my venture. And that is when I really met List Perfectly and used it for the first time to liquidate my own inventory. And I literally couldn't have done it without List Perfectly. I sold all of the inventory quickly. I had sales on almost every channel. And I realized just kind of an epiphany of this is the most powerful tool for sellers, and I want to be a part of it.
Oh my goodness, that journey was not expected. You caught me off guard there. All right. So that is good because we are all trying to figure out how to find homes for our products and all of the stuff that we acquire. My journey, I would just say just a little snippet of mine. So I started selling and reselling, I guess, out of necessity because I have two special needs kids. And my challenge was I needed to pay for therapy, speech, alternative therapies because the therapies that insurance will cover, those are the basic therapies, but the alternative therapies are not covered by insurance. They're out of network. They're not even considered. And so I had to start raising money, and that was my thing. And I would reach out to people that I knew. I reached out to my church members, reached out to neighbors, and I'm like, if you're going to donate that to the Salvation Army, give it to me. I'll go list it on eBay so I could raise money. And that's how I got started raising money for my kids' therapies and, and alternative therapies and supplementation and special diet. It was just a lot. And so I credit that to the progress that my son has made. We still have a long way to go, but they've made a significant amount of progress, and it is all due to, that start of that e-commerce journey because I was sort of forced and thrust into it.
Let me incredible. Back to you to exactly what you're saying. Reselling. When I started to do data entry for her, List Perfectly is a result of me having early on arthritis. So we were so desperate. My performance is decreasing because I'm requiring more therapy. Insurance doesn't cover it, the only thing that they cover is surgeries, and surgery does not fix when you have osteoarthritis in your spine. So we were desperate, and I was like, okay, Amanda, I think you need a different business partner. I can't join you on this journey. She was determined. She taught herself to code. Meanwhile, I'm reselling on the clothing vault. So I'm the only investor of List Perfectly. I have 2 years that she goes, and every day 12 hours teaching herself, testing software out there because we couldn't find anything that would help us. So just to let you know, desperation and the need of therapy, something more holistic, okay, less invasive, is what drove Liz Perfectly today to be here. It was born out of the desperation. Yeah.
See, and women can do anything when it comes to, like, we are problem solvers. Problem solvers. That's what we do. We solve problems. Oh my goodness. So I get it. I love that story. Man. So yes, you get the whole insurance doesn't cover anything. And I have my hats off to Amanda. Like, wow. She was like, I'm going to do this coding thing so we can find a solution for this. Hello. So of course the name of your company is List Perfectly. And we've heard pieces of your amazing, like the evolution of the start of this journey of the creation and development of this is software. So we know that it was born out of a solution that was needed because you weren't able to do as much data entry. Were there other aspects of what other types of solutions were you trying to solve with the software?
Many. I realized that as an actor, because Perfectly was built. So after we build it and I get the additional channels, I get Etsy, I get, at that time I got Pinterest, Instagram, Poshmark. So I'm like, I need an inventory management. So immediately she created inventory management. So after she created inventory management, I needed better management on images. So then we created image management. So then I needed to track what did best for me and how to grow my business in the right direction. So then she built me sales analytics.
Okay. So back up just for a second. So we have, with this software, I have the ability to cross list. Now tell me those platforms again. Tell me again what platforms I can cross list on.
11 platforms. That would be eBay, Etsy, Mercari, Poshmark, Grail, Tradesy, Instagram, Shopify, Depop. Who else am I forgetting?
Facebook
Marketplace. I did say Mercari. Facebook Marketplace. Kidizen.
Yes, Kidizen.
Kidizen. Great market.
Yes, great market for moms and kids' clothes.
Yes. And they expanded too many other categories.
Oh, great.
So we have 11 platforms that I can list on because I use this software.
Yes, that is.
At least 5 of those I've not ever used for real. Like I've never used. Now we have an opportunity. Okay. And then this software also does inventory management.
Yes.
Okay. So walk me through tell me about that inventory management that it's doing.
So it's important once you are managing, okay, whether you're a small seller or medium or large size, you want to have control of knowing where your listings are posted and published and what's the status. Did they sold? Are they active? So what List Perfectly will do for you is letting you know which platform your listing is and what's the status of it so you can keep accountability. And as you're keeping accountability as well, you can also perform, okay, track the performance of your sales and what is working best for your business. For example, what products, okay, what's not giving you a good profit margin, okay, what's giving you a good profit margin. So that's what we wanted to build and make it accessible for many sellers, because that's once you manage, okay, the growth to go cross-posting and you get more sales, okay, great, we got more sales. So now in which direction do I grow? So now money is not a problem anymore because you have the sales. So what you want to manage is the growth on the right direction.
Oh my goodness. So it's going to give me some metrics around the performance of my products.
Yeah. List Perfectly is really your #1 tool for growing your business. You can cross-list to new platforms and reach new audiences, which we see an average 4x increase in sales for each member just because they are reaching these new audiences and launching on new platforms they weren't selling on. Then as you're getting these sales, it's like, okay, I need to manage my inventory. So it's keeping track of where it's been cross-posted to and what the status is, as Amanda said. And then it's also receiving analytics from List Perfectly to assess that growth. Where did I get the most sales? What are my best selling products? And I mean, that's just the tip of the iceberg with List Perfectly. Part of inventory management is our relist and delist process that makes it super easy to get that really SEO and algorithm rich listing back up in the top of the marketplace by relisting it. Another thing we offer is unlimited CSV downloads, where you can actually get a spreadsheet of all of your items with the images in it, which no other, but barely any other services exist that contain the images. Obviously, that makes it a lot easier than trying to remember, okay, Nike cross trainers, what ones are those? Like, you actually can see it. And I think there's just so many other tools with List Perfectly beyond cross-posting. One thing that I do want to highlight with List Perfectly is that we offer unlimited products and unlimited cross-posting for $0 extra. So once you sign up to List Perfectly, you can cross-post as many products to as many platforms, as many times, relist, delist, as many times as you want for no extra charge. And I think that that's something that's really near and dear to especially Amanda and Clara's hearts. When a company charges or service charges for the cross listing or for the number of products, essentially they're penalizing you for growing. And List Perfectly rewards you for growing by allowing you to do unlimited for $0 extra.
Okay, so now that I've picked my jaw up off the ground, because this is phenomenal. This is a phenomenal solution. All right, so I'm going to assume, don't assume. So do I have the ability, like my SKUs, are you keeping track of my SKUs on each one of the platforms?
That is correct, yes.
Okay. Are you keeping track of like any keywords? Like I know some platforms like keywords more so than others. Are you keeping track of that for me?
Keeping track for you, no, but we allow you to enter keywords in our platform, and then we'll come take it to the platform, whether it's a hashtag, whether it's non-hashtag, whether it's in the enrichment of the platform where it's receiving it, that's how we will translate it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think this is a great time to kind of talk about our plans, because with each plan of our 3 flexible options, there's different information that gets stored or I guess managed for you with each plan. But in our highest plan, we are tracking all of the things. We're tracking images, titles, description, price, MSRP, UPC, color, size, brand, international sizes, materials, keywords, conditions, shipping, weight, dimensions, quantity, SKUs, and we even convert images into centimeters. So when you input this data into List Perfectly, yes, it is stored. And when you cross-post to each platform, it is cross-posted for you and filled out into that cell form for you. And I will say that is our pro plan. Our business plan cross-posts pretty much everything that you need to get your listing up in a 1/5 of the time. That's really how it's been timed out by many people that have tested it on YouTube and our community. And they are seeing that they're able to cross-post in a 20th of the time. They're seeing that they're able to cross-post in a 5th of the time, 20% of the time with the business plan. So I think now would be a great time to show how that software works and let you guys really see what you get with that amazing business plan.
Okay, guys, check out this video.
Want to expand your selling business? The business plan is your key to growth. The average seller saves 80 hours per month with this plan. The business plan is our most popular plan that lets you cross-post unlimited products to every platform we offer. With the business plan, you can 1. Cross-post unlimited products to every marketplace, one by one, or cross-post in bulk. 2. Create templates that help you save time listing. 3. Get insights and analytics to help you grow your business all in an easy-to-read CSV. Cross-posting is fast and easy. There are 2 ways to cross-post. 1. Cross-post your listings from any marketplace to every marketplace. 2. Add or import your products to List Perfectly, then cross-post them to every marketplace. 1. Cross-post your listings from one marketplace to every marketplace. Go to the marketplace where your products are listed, for example, Poshmark. List Perfectly buttons will appear over your listings. Select the listings you want to cross-post and then select all of the marketplaces you want to copy them to. With the business plan, you can cross-post unlimited listings in bulk. Now it's time to cross-post. A new tab to each marketplace will open with the images, title, description, price, MSRP, UPC, color, size, material, and keywords already copied for you. Image auto-sizing is also available for business plan users. If anything else needs to be added, fill it in and click Post. Want to copy even more information like dimensions and shipping? Try the Pro plan. 2. Add or import your products to List Perfectly, then cross-post them to every marketplace. You can add unlimited products to your List Perfectly catalog at no extra cost. The benefits to cross-posting from List Perfectly is inventory management, high-quality pictures, analytics, and our favorite, the End Listings feature, which helps you end listings from every marketplace one by one or in bulk to help refresh stale listings. To help with inventory management, you can use the Mark Sold button to delist listings one by one or in bulk to remove sold items from every marketplace. Adding products to your List Perfectly catalog is very similar to listing on a marketplace. Fill in all of the product information, then click Save. You can also create templates to make the listing process even speedier. Your product is now stored in your List Perfectly catalog and ready to be cross-posted. Importing listings from a marketplace to your List Perfectly catalog is simple and quick. Go to your marketplace, let's say eBay, and copy the listing to List Perfectly. It is now stored in your List Perfectly catalog and ready to be cross-posted. From your catalog, select the products you want to cross-post and then select the marketplaces you want to copy them to. Now it's time to cross-post. If anything else needs to be added, fill it in and click Post. With the business plan, get insights and analytics for any products you have stored in your List Perfectly catalog. Download an easy-to-read CSV file with information like where your products sold, for how much, your profits, images, and more. The business plan is $49 per month and can be upgraded, downgraded, or canceled at any time by members themselves for no additional fees. Getting started is risk-free. Try the business plan with our 3-day money-back guarantee.
All right, so I am just going to say that I am in total complete shock. My leader, whose name is Kelly Ward, was like, you have to check out this software. And of course, I have many pies, many plates in the air, many pies that I'm making, many things that are going on. So I did not take the opportunity to really look at this software for what it is. But I knew that as part of the summit, we had to have the ladies from List Perfectly because this is a women-owned business. And you guys know how I feel about women-owned businesses and the fact that we are really good at implementing solutions because that's what we were made for. So finding solutions to problems. And I love the fact that this software solves a lot of problems. So what kind of analytics do you have on your customers? Is your population of subscribers, is it predominantly women, predominantly men? What statistics do you have on that?
I do find that most of our audience is predominantly female, okay? And the ages range from everything. One time we had a thread, okay, of 70 comments on our Facebook group in which people, seniors, were saying this software is so easy that allows me on my retirement to make money of the things that I don't use or I don't need anymore. So that for me was touching. I knew we were up to something when we had a thread like that.
Oh my
I've
goodness.
seen people as young as 13 and as old as 70 using this perfectly in the year that I
15 for
Yeah.
Teresa Cox, her VAs are 15.
yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. I love that. So that means the teenagers, if you guys are looking for your teenager to get started doing something, especially, you know, the summer is going to be coming, spring break is coming, they can spend time learning this software and get some stuff listed. If you got stuff around the house, there you go. So how intuitive do you feel like this software is as far as the people who are using the software? You know, do they feel like they have to spend a lot of time watching the videos over and over again, or do you feel like, can you tell me about it, because I don't want to answer the question, but you know, how intuitive do you feel the software is?
I feel it's very intuitive because it depends on how you want to use it. Okay, there is so many ways to use this perfectly. So you can cross post from marketplace to marketplace, which is very simple. Or if you want to get sophisticated, you go through list perfectly, and then you get inventory management, and you can adjust your data to get more sales analytics or less sales analytics. Depends of how you want to use, and that's what we did with Amanda. We didn't want to impose. Most solutions, they tell you how to do things in one way. We wanted to give you the options to do it as many possible ways, depending on the level of, where you are in your journey as a seller or reseller, and you decide how to use this perfectly.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Amanda, like, you developed this software.
Yeah.
Needing a solution for Clara, you developed the software. So, I mean, I don't even, tell me about that journey of like working on this software, like hours per day, time that you like hands down, like tell us about that.
Well,
Andy,
I'll
tell her how you started with the templates.
I'll tell you, I didn't actually set out to code. I actually first started with trying to find a solution. And I thought for sure somebody must have built already what I was working on, because it solves so many problems. And I went out and this is back keep in mind, 2014, 2015, you know, you had a lot of software built for big resellers like drop shippers. It was very difficult, and you know, really built for like, I have 100,000 listings in a spreadsheet and I want to upload them all and then get them on Walmart or, you know, some other marketplace like that. It didn't solve our problem where we have one of a kind listings. Our biggest problem wasn't managing the sales aspect, it was managing the listings aspect. We spent more time in our day listing. Oh. And so I was really looking for something that would help us list faster and then cross post faster. So what we started with in the very beginning was, okay, let's simplify the description building process. So I created these Word templates that would be unique for every type of product that we had. It didn't take long for us to wind up with 400 of these. And then, like, you know, trying to like find them was like, okay, I got to get the right template. Now let me try to search for it on my computer.
And you did feel like a little template manager to find it. So these are Word documents.
So it was an evolution from the Word document. I was like, this is ridiculous. We can't be having 800 templates. No. I know we can do better. We can put this on a server somewhere. So really, when I think back, the start of List Perfectly was about templating, and which is also what we offer in List Perfectly. Yeah. We didn't cover that, but that's important because that is really what started List Perfectly, and where we think we're going to save you the most time. If you come to our site, you create your listings on List Perfectly, and then you cross post from there. We highly recommend doing that. Create your templates. And what templates help you to do is that text that you keep saying over and over and over, but leave blank the areas that are unique for your item. So you would just say, okay, I have a pants template. Apply the pants template with a click with a drop down. Put in your measurements, put whatever you need, and you just listed your item in 10 seconds. And so So from there, from the templates, putting them on the server, we built the connections to the marketplace. And I would say I was waking up, I was going to bed thinking about this perfectly. I would easily say I put in 20 hours a day, honestly, 20 hours a day, because there was always another problem to solve. And the hardest one, I think, was figuring out how do we get to marketplaces that don't have what we call a techie, connection to them. Like Poshmark doesn't have a techie connection to it. So we were the first ones to solve that problem. And we were the first ones to build templates for descriptions. So it was a lot of just thinking and problem solving and figuring it out.
So this was an evolution for you guys, and you guys are innovators. You're innovating all the time.
They're geniuses. I'm telling you that as someone who's observing every day and the evolution. I've been with List Perfectly for a year now. We have come so far in a year. We are consistently releasing updates, new features, new channels, new marketplaces to post to. It is something that Amanda is talking about, her 20 hours a day when she started. And I know she's, thank God, sleeping a bit more these days, but it's as you wouldn't know that. I will say, as someone on the team or someone that's in the community, it feels just the same with how much work and love and dedication goes into List Perfectly. I think it is one thing for someone who's sold online a few times to start a service for resellers. It's another thing for someone who started as a reseller, felt the pain physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually at times, right? And I know all of us have been there. And then create a solution, not because, I want to make money and want to start a company. That's not how this started. It started to solve their own issues. And when people started catching, wind of this and, oh, wow, you guys are on new platforms. How are you doing that? Amanda, how's Clara doing with her arthritis? Oh, she's doing better. She's able to list the same amount. How? And it started getting out there. I mean, I remember when I first heard of List Perfectly, there was a wait list to join. This was like 2 years ago, maybe a little less than 2 years ago. So it has come such a long way, and it continues to come a long way. But the customer, the member, the seller always comes first, because all of us are not just people that have sold online. We're people that have spent our lives and dedicated, real years to this. I even dropped out of college for some time to be a full-time reseller. So I'll speak, for myself here and for Amanda and Clara to say that we all really care about the solution. And so it shows. I know that anyone that's watching this, when you sign up for our service, and there is a 3-day free trial it's risk-free. So you do sign up with your payment information, but you have up to 3 days to try it and have a 100% money back guarantee. And I know that when you do that, you will fall in love. You will see the love and feel the love that goes into it.
Unbelievable. So I will tell you, as a reseller myself, and a person that sells, I do have wholesales, I do bundles, I do all kinds of stuff. The fact that you're on 11 platforms, I'm like, okay, I'm in. The second thing, some of those I hadn't been on before, so let's just start with that. And the fact that you've developed solutions to platforms that maybe don't have an API in place, and you're like, okay, well, how do we make this work? That's awesome. For those people, like if you have accounts where, Amazon has an API, eBay has an API where you connect to, you're using other tools. That is totally awesome. This journey that you ladies have been on you said since 2014. Tell me again the year. How many years have we been doing?
From
really
conception?
Yeah. And 2011, and we really started intensely in 2014.
So 2011, but got serious about it 2014, and today we're in 2021. The evolution of the software, the number of people, here's the deal. I'm excited for you ladies. There is an immense blessing that's coming your way, because in 2020, a lot of people took a significant number of hits to their personal lives because of the pandemic and had to come up with an alternative solution. A significant number of those people that were impacted were women. The statistics and the data around women being unemployed because of 2020 is just, it's sad and it's eye-opening. So there's a space for these women to now use a tool that will allow them to be able to sell and get more exposure to their products and be able to make an income that's maybe going to solve their problem, whatever it happens to be, for their family until they either decide to return back to the workplace or decide that reselling is going to be the thing for them.
Yeah.
So I think what you've done, I don't think the immense blessing that this piece of software is going to have on the future, and women right now specifically. I'm sorry, men, I love you guys. Dads, I'm all for you. But there's a lot of women that are currently unemployed, and that I see is going to be the biggest blessing. And I think you're going to explode. And I just want you to sit back and receive that huge blessing that you're about to receive, because you're going to explode more than I think you've even prepared yourself for. So I'm excited for you and your journey. I'm excited for what you created. I wish that I had the fortitude and the time and the patience and any of the other things to be able to do that. But my goodness, this is like a huge blessing because, go ahead.
No, I couldn't help but respond to everything that you're saying because I couldn't agree more. Something that Clara and I always said, and we mean it, is e-commerce has the power to change the world. And, a lot of people talk about the gig economy, right? Where you go out, maybe you drive a car or you do pickups, or all of those things require that you leave the house for a certain period of time. And if you're a caregiver of any kind, whether it be an elder caregiver, a child caregiver, those options aren't really available for you. E-commerce can be that option available to you. It can change lives. So
we do see but we do see with Amanda, e-commerce is the big equalizer. Okay. Yes. I was in Argentina. I was poor. Okay. I never got nothing for free. I didn't get meds. I didn't get food, and we needed it. And I started reselling at 12 years old in my school, okay, and on the breaks, candy, okay, so I could, get a better support myself. In the aftermath, we know that e-commerce is what is going to help many people to get ahead, in these situations, like you were saying, Nicole.
I literally was going to say it's the great equalizer, and Clara just is so on point with that. I agree with everything you said, Clara.
Thank you.
I just think that there's such an opportunity for those who need a financial solution to use e-commerce and let it be the solution. It solved a lot of my family's problems. Not going to say we have all of our problems solved, but it keeps the lights on and keeps water coming out of the faucet as long as it's not frozen like it is here in Texas. But because we have a lot of frozen water right now and frozen power lines. So I'm excited for your journey, and I'm excited about the fact that I don't know how many interviews you've done, but I'm so glad that I got a chance to talk to you, so that I can say when I see you on, I don't know, some TV talk show somewhere, I'll be like, I met those ladies. I talked to them. Okay, so I do have some additional questions. So you talked about that we have like a wide range of anywhere from 13 to 70. The software you say is intuitive, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. Trust me, I'm going to be like, okay, I got to get this software, get my hands on it. Because, I have my son who is working in his business now. We got a Shopify store for him. Helping him launch his Shopify store. I can see him using this tool. So I want you to know that for me, it is extremely important that whatever software I use, it'd be intuitive enough for those people with learning disabilities to be able to figure out how to do what they need to do and be able to continue to stay up to date on whatever it is that they're selling in their stores. So I am excited about that because I'm sure, I'll let you know how he does because we're going to get the software.
Please do. One thing I really want, I think it's important to share with your audience is that what we think it's very important as resellers, especially, to physically look at your product when you're listing it. And so when you use List Perfectly, you will always be taken to the listing page of the marketplace or platform that you want to list on, so that you can physically verify all the information and make sure that that listing is accurate and it's going to look its best for your buyers, because we are concerned about your sales. We want you to sell more. So it's very intuitive.
Okay. All right. I'm excited about that. Go ahead.
I also just love that part of List Perfectly. So it is just to give a clarity of how the cross posting works. You can do it either from List Perfectly, which we recommend because you get a multitude of tools, like we were saying, inventory management, analytics, and more. Or of course, if you're, already very deep in the reselling world and you just want to go from one of your marketplaces to a new one or to any of our 11 channels that we offer, you can do that just straight from your current listings, cross-posting from there without ever going to List Perfectly. So yes, it is very flexible. And as Amanda was saying, how it actually works is it takes the information either from the initial source of List Perfectly or that platform that you start cross-posting from, and it pushes that information to the new marketplaces or to the destination channels where you're cross-posting to. So it's copying over images, titles, description, UPC, MSRP, size, condition, keywords. The list goes on and on and on, filling that out for you so you're not sitting there typing, but you do get that chance to review and press post, because that really is, number one, the terms of each marketplace. They do require that a human being press that post button. And that is how we're compliant with every single marketplace. But also because it is so important for you as the seller to do that process. And I'm not, going to speak on whether or not a VA is something that you should be using or not. But what I will say is we've replaced VAs for so many people, saved them so much money because they are able to list themselves. And when sometimes you have that VA who's not there with you and isn't actually physically holding the jacket and seeing, oh, there's actually this white stitching that's really special and makes it rare and makes it worth more. And because it's a rare item, it should be priced higher, right? And then you're not getting as much money as you should. So it actually puts that listing process back into your hands. Of course, you can have someone else do it. You can have a intern or a cousin or whoever you want paid them to do it, a VA, doesn't matter. But it does make it so much easier. And we have saved so many people time and money that they've spent outsourcing by putting it back into their hands. And that also does improve the quality of listings.
Okay. Well, I have two more questions, and then we're probably going to get close to wrapping this up. So, probably three questions. So for those people that maybe you consider yourself a reseller, maybe you're doing private label or doing white label, or maybe you're doing something else, like maybe you're drop shipping. How I know, like as a person that I collect inventory from many different sources. So I've done that for years, but I also place wholesale orders and I also do retail arbitrage. The software, which audience, if you know the data, do you know which audience you mainly have using your software right now? And do you have private label sellers using your software as well?
We have a variety of everyone. That speaks to the power and flexibility of List Perfectly. We were resellers, so obviously we are going to solve the reseller problem with our software. But we found that not just resellers, people are coming to us with, hey, I have multi-quantity variation listings. Can List Perfectly work for this? And yes, and actually we keep improving the experience for every kind of seller, even drop shippers. So yeah, we're coming with a lot of things because we really believe in the all sellers, uniting all sellers.
All sellers, indeed.
Yeah. I think if you have 15 to 30 listings, start up with the simple plan or the business plan. If you're someone with thousands of listings, tens of thousands of listings, try the business or the pro plan. And we're accommodating all kinds of sellers, really, from the just getting started and needing that extra hand. And the goal of selling is to make money. So the ability to reach new audiences and manage listings across multiple platforms, that's the beginning of List Perfectly. And I think the evolution to the end is I have tens of thousands of listings. I have multiple accounts on the same platform. We accommodate that as well. So it's really for everyone. And we do have every kind of person using it.
Awesome.
we did that, Nicole, is because we made it a monthly subscription that you can cancel at any time. So you can come, leave, and go. You don't lose your listings. So we are on top of it. So we're not locking you in on a contract for 3 months, 6 months. What? No. What you see is what you get. We made it very simple.
Okay, so if I cancel and then I decide I want to renew it 6 months later, am I renewing it with the same account number and all my stuff is there?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Right.
What the Sam Hill?
Perfectly is the key word here. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I do have two questions, but that blew me away. So I need y'all to pay attention to that. If you didn't hear that, for those people, because sometimes as resellers, things happen and people have to stop doing the business for a minute and then they decide they're going to come back and continue doing the business. You don't have to start all over from scratch. So if you had listed a bunch of stuff that was in your garage, in your attic, in your basement, and then you're like, okay, I could step away for 2 months or 3 months or go have a baby and I come back. Oh my gosh, you guys, that is such a blessing. That is gold for those people.
No, we know. We give you the pain of the sellers. We know what our community needs.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so certain platforms require certain fields and other platforms don't require those fields. So your software's ability how are you addressing that?
It will copy and transfer the fields that are compatible in between those platforms.
Yeah.
And then if it doesn't, okay, you can add it. We'll give you the flexibility. For example, let's say for whatever reason, let's say it's a European size, okay? So we give you the flexibility to enter that. You can template it or enter into the description box and still will transfer. One way or the other, we'll help you get that information to the other platform.
And the great thing is we're taking you directly to the marketplace. So if you find that they, like eBay has a lot of item specifics that are not on Poshmark, but you can still cross-post between. And when you get your listing details over to that marketplace, just fill the rest in. It's really easy.
Okay, so the required fields are going to pop up that I'm required before I can hit submit, and then I know I need to fill in. This platform, I have these 5 fields. On this platform, I have these 2 fields. On this platform, I have this 1 field. Whatever it is, you guys are handling it.
And you have no fields, so yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then my last question is, okay, so which platform do you find that your software is posting to the most? Which platform right now, today?
Right now. Are we still eBay?
No.
Poshmark?
So it's interesting. It's a good question. Initially, it was eBay. Now it's Poshmark.
So right now, the majority of your traffic is going to Poshmark. Okay.
Right.
Wow. Okay, so can you tell me all those platforms one more time that you list on? One last time that you...
I have them up. I'll pull them. So here we go. Facebook Marketplace, eBay, Mercari, Depop, Citizen, Instagram, Shopify, Grailed, Tradesy, Poshmark, and Etsy.
Yay.
Oh my goodness. All right. So here's the deal. I am so glad that you guys came and talked with us today. If you haven't had the All Access Pass, you guys need to upgrade. There should be somewhere on this page. You can upgrade to the All Access Pass and gain access to any amazing bonuses that these ladies are offering. I do want to say this, I want to make sure, we'll talk about, that's okay. Well, all I'm going to say is if you have not looked into List Perfectly, I think you should. I think it'll be a blessing to you and your business, no matter where you are, whether you're a 5-figure seller, 6-figure seller, 7-figure seller, 8-figure seller. I think it's a great opportunity for you to get your listings on other platforms. I'm excited about the inventory management aspect of it because a lot of us are running different types of businesses. So we've got an inventory management software, and then we got a keyword research software, and then we got a listing software. We got all this stuff. And, I am literally I may get to cancel some subscriptions now that I feel like this software is going to solve. Yes, it's going to solve a lot of my problems. So one last thing, ladies. So do you have, for all the eCom Seller Summit members, do you have a special offer for them as eCom Seller Summit registrants? What offer are you giving to the eCom Seller Summit registrants?
Yeah, so you can sign up for List Perfectly, any plan with the code eCom. It is not case sensitive, so eCom. And you're going to put that in on the last page where you put in your payment information for 30% off your first month. And you are still covered by our 3-day money back guarantee. So you have 3 days, up to 20 cross posts to try List Perfectly, completely risk-free. Again, with the code eCom for 30% off any plan you choose. And once you sign up, I know, and I say this based on analytics, that you won't be canceling. You will love it.
Oh my goodness. I am so excited. So there should be a link somewhere on this page for you all to click and then go ahead and get your subscription. I'm glad that they are part of the summit. I am so thankful for you ladies' times. I know you're extremely popular. I know you're extremely busy. I know that you have a lot going on, but everyone who signs up today, you're going to be totally blessed by this software. You're going to have the opportunity to change your e-commerce business. And hopefully we'll have these ladies back in Q4. And I'll tell you how I have been using this software and what my results are when we have the next summit, which is in August. So write it down on your calendars, guys. All right. So this has been another episode. Ladies, is there anything that you would like to share with them before we close this out?
I would just like, one more thing before we sign off. I would just like to add that I would love to see everyone follow us on Instagram at List Perfectly. We have a lot of really fun community give back kind of initiatives. For example, every Friday we give away a seller sourced mystery box, which is actually inventory that we purchase from our sellers to give away to one lucky winner every week so that they have more inventory, especially in this pandemic. And that's just like one thing we're doing on Instagram amongst tens of things. So do follow us, subscribe to our YouTube, great helpful tutorials there. And whether you are a member of List Perfectly or not, join our community Facebook group. Just type in List Perfectly. It will pop up. And that is a resource for anyone that is a part of List Perfectly, anyone that is interested in List Perfectly. It's a 24-hour day community. So definitely join that. And of course, thank you so much for coming to this session.
All right, so Amanda and Clara, do you have something you want to share?
Yes, that we're so honored and happy to have met you. And thank you so much for everything you're doing. And again, anybody that is helping our community is our loyal friend. So yes, can't wait to hear about your growth. And let's get you help with List Perfectly.
That's right. My son is the one that's going to be using the software. So I'm excited. And so this is going to be interesting. I do thank each and every one of you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to sit down with us for this masterclass session. For those of you, and I hope that these ladies back in August, and I will let you know how we're doing in our business. Thank you so much for signing up to watch the eCom Seller Summit Masterclass on List Perfectly. And we're going to say goodbye for now.